What's up, YouTube? This is Antonio Tutt here, aka Crow from Team TripleSleeveTCG, coming at you here with an Angel Feather deck profile. Without further ado, let's get into it. We're going to start off with our starter. Just a generic on-ride, draw +1. We're going to move into our triggers. Next, we have 7 crits. 4 heals, and 5 draw triggers.
So I noticed that you're running 5 draw triggers instead of the typical 4. Why is that?
Well, the extra draw trigger is here to help me filter to the Metatron. So one thing that's also pretty good about this extra draw trigger is that if you actually have to ride Metatron first, or even if you get the on-ride skill for Metatron from riding another grade 3, not only do you get a gift marker, if you use Metatron skill, which is a Pursuit or Rescue, you take a card from your damage zone, put it at the bottom of your deck, take the top card in your deck, and you damage check yourself. Since you get the trigger effects, if you hit this extra draw trigger, you get another +1, so essentially you get a +2. On top of the Metatron giving you the extra call. Next we have 3 Thousand Ray Pegasus, 4 Arcane Celestial, and 4 Underlay Celestial. And that is it for the grade 1s.
So I noticed in your grade 1 lineup that you don't use Insights Angel. Why is that?
Reason why I don't use Insights Angel is because I've never needed a need for her. Plus, using Underlay and Marking Celestial, these two are the only ways that you can actually access your Metatron from your damage zone. You have no other cards that actually can swap cards from your hand, essentially to grab anything from your damage zone. While Insights Angel is pretty good for filtering, putting your triggers back, I prefer to see my combo pieces. Next, for grade 2s, we have 4 Wild Shot Celestial, and we have 4 Aramati. Now, a couple of things about these two grade 2s here. These are really good in the early game. If your opponent damage checking you, if they go second, since you go to grade 2 before them, you can use this on the ride. Soul Blast 1, call a card from your damage zone, giving you either a free booster or giving you an extra Vanguard to apply more pressure. While if they hit you for 2 damage, you can use this skill, Soul Blast out your grade 1, call a card from your damage zone, whether it's a booster or an extra attacker. You can use her skill, the Counter Blast 1, since a card went into your damage zone during that turn, to actually grab that grade when you just Soul Blasted out and put it as a booster either behind Vanguard or herself, allowing you to put extra pressure. And these also have a double duty. They actually access your mobile hospital for you, which is your win condition. Last but not least, we have Meteorite Pegasus. This card is one of my favorite cards in the deck. Essentially it's a 10k shield and a 14k attacker. If you boost it with an 8k booster, it becomes a 22, hitting those Excel and hitting those Protect clans. And if you have the 1000 Ray Pegasus boosted behind it, if you add an additional 10k, it hits those Protect numbers, those Force numbers as well. Next, we'll go into our grade 3s. We have 4 SVR Zeracu, 4 or Metatron, best card in the deck. Again, it's a free heal, it gets you a Vanguard on board, and also it's a Pursuit or Rescue check. So pretty much allowing you to check more triggers during the game. Last but not least, we have our win condition of the deck, Mobile Hospital. So again, like I explained earlier, if you use 1000 Ray Pegasus boosted behind this, it essentially can make it a 50k column, and if you combine it with Zeracu over here, you can actually make it a 53 column, allowing you to hit those force numbers. Essentially, it's like a 3 card block, assuming that they didn't hit any damage triggers.
So what is your preferred ride target for each grade?
For grade 1s, I prefer to ride 1000 Ray Pegasus. Reason being is because I don't want to ride the other two because they are my only ways to actually swap cards for my damage zone. And also, if I combine that with either one of these two here, if I ride on top of this, I can use his skill, the Soul Blast the 1000 Ray Pegasus out. And then I can use her skill to access this from the drop zone.
So your grade 2 preferred ride target would probably be Aramontes in this case then.
Correct.
Alright, what about grade 3?
Grade 3, further ride Zarakil, if possible, because in the early game, once you ride first and you swap a damage, she gives your front row additional 3k power. So she will be swinging 15, boosted by 8k, it swings for 23. So again, it allows you to hit those force numbers as well. Don't really want to ride your mobile hospital because we only have 3 in the deck. If I have to ride them, it's fine because I have 2 more. But I mainly want to see these as finishers. Because sometimes if you're going into like the late game and you're stacking your soul with grade 3s, having 2 of these stacked on board, they're PG stoppers and they're dishing out 2 damage.
So since we're talking about mobile hospital, what is your preferred combo with them?
So preferred combo would be something a little bit along the lines like this here. You'll have 2 random grade 3s in your soul. You'll just roll Metatron during the turn. You'll have this boosted with 1000 Ray Pegasus. You have a Zarakil on board in your other column. And it can be boosted by pretty much anything. Again, you will use her skill to damage check yourself, trying to see if you can hit that extra damage trigger. If so, you can apply all the trigger effects over here. Again, making this is already a 3-card block essentially, because 2 heal triggers only will make you 53, assuming that you didn't hit a damage trigger, like earlier if you attack one of these 2 lanes. And once you attack with Vanguard first, any of the trigger effects that you will get, you apply over here, again, making this now a 4-card block, if possible.
Okay. So, do you prefer to use hospital first, as like soon as possible when you get 2 grade 3s in your soul, or do you prefer to wait later in the game?
Well, that's actually all dependent, to be honest with you. Sometimes I would prefer to see it early, like, I try and stabilize the game and try and tempo the game as much as possible. If I feel like I can, if I have the pieces or have access to the pieces to do a double hospital turn, I try and fish for that. But if not, I try and stay at as low damage as possible. Probably stay at like 3 damage. So that way when I ride the Metatron using her skill, the CB2 call a card out, I'll go to 2 damage. And if I can get those, and so stay at low damage so that way once I use hospital skill, because he turns all your damage face down, I won't have to worry about it. I can have access to more damage or a counterblast so that way I can ride the Metatron again and use those counterblasts instead of just having all 4 or 5 counterblasts down and not be able to use Metatron and utilize her full potential. Alright, that is it for this deck profile. I do want to give a couple of shout outs to Justin Dunbar and Team TripleSleeveTCG. You can check out their link down below in the description. Also, shout out to our sponsors, Prismatic Defenders, for supplying us with these gorgeous sleeves here. You guys also check out their link in the description below. Thank you all. See you guys next time.